Welcome to the Global Speaker Advantage, the #1 podcast where your voice goes beyond borders. Hosted by Oliver Shum, international speaker and coach, this show is for speakers ready to grow influence, land paid gigs, and make a global impact. Tune in every Tuesday and Friday weekly for insights, interviews, and strategies to help you thrive on the world stage. Let's go global.
This is the Global Speakers Advantage podcast, where every episode is a masterclass. I am your host, Oliver Shum, and we are on a mission to touch every voice in any corner of the world, to make them be heard, to make them experience the breakthrough they need in their professional speaking careers and whatever thing they do, and to ensure that they create global impact. Let's make this count. And join me into this insightful conversation as we dive deeper with our guests. And of course, before I introduce our guests, like you know already, this podcast is listened by thousands of people from Singapore, from Europe, from United States of America, in different states like Minnesota, the state of Georgia, Texas, Florida, Chicago, New York, and of course from Africa, from different countries, including Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and of course Cameroon. And before we dive deeper, I just want to let you know our listener of the week and their perspective about the podcast, even as we introduce our guest to get deeper. Okay? Enjoy this brief one, and we're going to be right back.
Hello all, my name is Konyi Gotran from Douala, Cameroon. I am this week's spotlight listeners to the Global Speakers Advantage podcast. I do tune in every week, Tuesday and Friday, because this platform do not just ignite and inspires, but it reminds me of the fact that my story, my voice, and my purpose matters a lot, locally and globally. Indeed, since I started listening to the Global Speakers Advantage podcast, it has energized me and empowered me to embark and rise up with new energy for my MSc thesis. Listening to this wonderful podcast weekly endows me and bring me to the front row seat of greatness every single week. To everyone out there listening to the Global Speakers Advantage podcast, I encourage you to dream boldly, to speak fearlessly, and to keep on listening to this wonderful platform, because it is not just a show, but it is a movement. A big shout out to Coach Oliver Shum and the entire team out there. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Gotran, for being our listener of the week's podcast. It's so amazing to hear voices from around the world sharing the impact of the podcast in their lives. And ladies and gentlemen, dear friend, here comes our guest, the one and only Christian Gong, aka Daddy Chris. Welcome, Daddy Chris. Pretty good. Now, for those who don't know Daddy Chris is a life coach. Daddy Chris is a senior data analyst. Daddy Chris is a coach and a speaker at the same time. And of course, he is a great father to amazing children, and of course, a great husband to his beautiful wife, Petra Jindo. So, Daddy Chris, hope you're doing pretty well today, sir. Okay, can you sound? Since I can get you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, sorry. I was actually talking on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So, how are you doing today, sir?
Well, God is helping.
I love that.
Yeah.
Let's dive deeper into the conversation. Christian, take us back to your previous careers, experiences and work history. What sparked your journey into life coaching and leadership and motivational speaking? What transpired? What was that spark that triggered that kind of a life choice of making a career?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a very broad question, and must say that my journey began in Cameroon and then continued in the United States, where I am currently, where I experienced firsthand challenges like displacement and injustice. I happen to have grown up, in those rural areas, how it meant, and I grew up
Mm,
in a family where my dad got married to multiple wives. Growing up in the village and seeing all those challenges, I was always, when people were sleeping each night and looking for how to do better in life, I
mm,
was only looking on how to be able to break across society and then be
mm,
able to resolve those challenges. And over time,
mm,
I realized that my calling was to empower others, especially in the marginalized communities, and to find their voice and purpose.
mm,
And this is why I had to venture into, life coaching, and also leading to the creation of Voice of the Voiceless, which is
mm.
one of the organizations I champion in Cameroon and abroad.
Oh, great job. I love that. I see how life issues brought you into this very beautiful career. And
Yeah.
today, Christian, you are a life coach, an entrepreneur, and a founder, of course.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And for those who are just joining us right now, in respect of the country you're joining us from, the part of the world, indicate on the comment section where you're joining us. If you're watching from YouTube, indicate and make sure you also like and subscribe to the show. And let us know what is taking you, what is making you inspired, on the comment section. Okay, now Daddy Chris, your story behind is quite inspiring, and especially behind the voice of the voiceless. So when did you actually start this organization, and what does the voice of the voiceless actually represent to you personally?
Yeah, Oliver. So I've been, when I talk with a lot of people, some people feel that I founded the Voice of the Voiceless when I was already made. I founded Voice of the Voiceless when I'd already traveled abroad.
Mm-hmm.
As the issue is, people get to create organizations mostly when they travel abroad. And no, that
Mm,
was not my case.
okay.
Voice of the Voiceless was created in 2016, and it
Mm,
was born out of my passion to lift up those who the society had ignored. Yeah,
mm,
so like it symbolizes giving dignity and agency to people whose stories are often unheard, driven by my own story of overcoming struggles.
mm,
And just like I said at the beginning of this podcast, Voice of the Voiceless was founded not to give people what they need, but to give people the voice so that they can be able to stand up and talk for themselves.
mm,
I realize that sometimes in what we happens is people are not using their voices. People
mm,
use the voices of those who can provide to them. So we have traded our voices for material gifts.
mm,
And because
mm,
of this reason, so what we are looking at Voice of the Voiceless was to give people the voice so that they can be able to use this voice and get what they want. Not that people should
mm,
be able to talk because they expect gifts from other people. That's why we are giving them a voice to speak. And by giving them, and that's why throughout the years, we have not only concentrated on letting people talk, we are also empowering people. And as we dive into this interview today, we might get to explore some of those avenues.
Of course, yeah.
Mhm.
So we're looking forward to that, and you've been doing a great job, with the voice of the voices, with your entire team around the world. So you talk a lot about love as in leadership. Okay, so what are the leadership principles, and what does leading with love really looks like in today's world, Christian?
Yeah, love is everything.
Mm,
I remember someone told me when I talked so much, maybe post so much about love.
yeah.
Someone commented and told me that I should be talking about how people should get jobs. I should, you cannot get a job, or at least keep a job, if you
Mm,
cannot keep love, because love is everything.
mm,
So love just means prioritizing empathy, compassion, and genuine care.
mm,
And it means seeing each person as made in God's
mm,
image, not just
mm,
metrics or roles.
mm,
It means listening deeply and serving others authentically. And what I mean here is, if you cannot be able to do all these things, if you cannot be able to love, you cannot be able to integrate into the society. You cannot keep
mm,
your own family, you cannot keep a job even if you have it. What
mm,
we need to start teaching today's generation to know or to do is how to love in the first place. Because if we
mm,
cannot love, we will be building bridges and not build we will be building walls and not bridges, because we are
mm,
living in a world where we need to build bridges, we need to
mm,
connect to each other more and more,
mm,
because
mm.
it's only through those connections that we can build empires. So let's
Yeah,
talk. That's why love is very important in the contemporary world.
that's so brilliant. I love that nugget, bro. And Christian, I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Are you ready for the surprise?
Yeah, I'm always ready.
Okay, great. It's a good surprise, by the way.
Okay.
So, while my team were preparing for this podcast, and we have this surprise for you. So, one of your daughters got a question for you.
Dad, thank you for being a loving and caring father to me, and also to my mom and my siblings too. What is one moment with me that reminded you why love is the foundation of real leadership?
That's the question.
Oh my God, that's this is just like I don't know, but it is just a wonderful surprise. Thank you so
Okay,
much, and thank you, my
great.
daughter, for that question.
She's so
Now,
brilliant. I love her public speaking skills. Great job. So, can you answer George's question?
yeah. So to answer that question, let me go into this. Yeah, love in my family looks like patience.
Mm,
It looks like sacrifice,
mm,
intentional connection.
mm,
At home, leading with love means being present and putting relationships above performance.
mm,
You know, so this is like your family,
mm,
like what my daughter, or the question my daughter has just asked, is
mm,
that is your highest, your number one connection.
mm,
And so you have to love with care and not performance. What I mean here is that it is not about what they can be able to do, but
mm,
about who they are.
mm.
Because when you start loving people by what they can offer, you will not be there for them tomorrow when they're not able to offer.
Can you
So
say
it is
that again? Say
yeah.
that again
So
to the backbenchers. The backbenchers need to hear that.
so so when we start loving people by
Mm,
what they can offer, and then
mm,
tomorrow we will no longer love them when they are not able to offer it, because it is
mm,
clear that one day what you offer today you will not be able to offer tomorrow.
mm.
Love
I love that.
is at the level of the family is about loving people for who you are,
Mm,
for who they are, not what they are. At your job site, they love you for what you are, because if you lost that job today, they will employ another person.
mm,
When you are campaigning to be the president of the country, they vote for you because of what you tell them and not who you
mm,
are. Because tomorrow, if you are not there, they will get another person. So, but in your family,
mm,
your kids, your wife, and everybody in your family, you have to love them for who they are, for who they are, not what they are. And that's what I say. It is based on on connection and not performance.
mm. Thank you so much. That's so brilliant. So, in your home, how has love shaped your leadership as a father, husband, and friends?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes the same, like maybe just answering the question. It's just like I said,
Mhm.
it's about, they say charity begins at home.
Mm,
And we know who you are outside based on who you are at home.
yeah.
Because the home, they will challenge you. And for you to be able to learn practical leadership, first of all, start by handling those challenges at home that
Mm,
come from your kids, that come from your wife, or that comes from anybody at home. Because
mm,
those are the people. And I told someone, right,
mm,
that I told somebody when we were talking, I told the person that, you see, you cannot make somebody angry if you cannot make somebody sad. If
mm,
somebody does not have the power to make you happy, then the person does not have that power to annoy you.
mm,
The person is simply non-existent. So in your
mm,
home, those are the people that have the most power to annoy you, because they have
mm,
the most power to, and they still have the most power to make you happy. So if you can be able to handle leadership at home, then you'll be able to handle leadership everywhere you go.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. And so,
Yeah.
what role has God's love played in shaping your calling, your confidence as a speaker, and you as a coach and a life coach for that matter?
Oh yeah, Oliver, thank you. So now what would I have been without God's love, right? That's
Mm,
the question I asked. Like, where would I have been?
mm,
Sometimes, Oliver, I look at myself and I see um alone and I cry. I
mm,
cry not because I'm sad, but out of happiness, because when I look at what God's love has done for me, I'm
mm,
like, how can I pay God back? Now, God's love has been the anchor. It has
mm,
been every affirmation that I've received. It has been every door that has opened for me. I mean, that has flowed from a deep awareness that I am
mm,
beloved. Now, God's love is what has given me confidence and purpose in every message that I share every day.
mm,
And that's why when you go through my platform, mostly I post, and when I share some of the posts, like some people they come, I receive attacks. Like
mm,
sometimes it, like when I talk so much that there's a like I recently ran into a niche where I post so much about encouraging women,
mm,
trying to fight for them, and then it didn't just go normally because I had to meet a lot of attacks from men. But
mm,
now this is a question. I share these messages with confidence, with conviction, because
mm,
that's God love in me. And that's why I say that with what I have been through and with what I've experienced and with who God
mm,
has groomed me to be, I have that confidence, and that confidence is because of that love that is in me.
mm,
Now, so you love is a backing to everybody, because if you have somebody that deeply loves you, then you
mm,
have confidence in everything you go through. Why? Because you know that there is someone who really loves and cares for you, and that the
mm,
person is there to carry your burdens, and in every difficulty the person will be there for you. And if
mm,
you have that love, the day I found this love in God, that's the day I had that confidence, because no matter what I face, I know that it is not my battle to fight. And even when I'm fighting it, I know that I have a backing, because if I'm not able to fight it, there is someone who will fight it for me. And that's
mm,
how far God's love has brought me.
mm.
It has been my anchor here.
I love that. I love that, bro. Now let me read some comments from some people watching from different countries. And so we have here Rosemary. You Hi, I'm interested. Okay, thank you for being interested, Rosemary. So we equally have here Otawazili Victor says, let love lead. I love that, Victor. And Impact Ranger says, leadership at home first. This is so amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep on bringing your comments. And Linger says, greetings, Coach Oliver, Sean, and Mr. Ngong Christian. Thank you so much for all you are doing. Thank you so much, Linger. Amazing. And so,
Thank you.
great. Chris, you are loved by your fans, followers, and friends, mentees, and coaches out there a lot. And one of them, my team was able to reach out to one of them, and he got a question for you, very short question for you, which I believe you're going to love the question.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Coach Oliver, for your great work. I want to find out from Mr. Christian, knowing how much your faith guides you, what's one way you have seen God's hand help you lead with love and passion, both at home and in your job? Thank you.
So,
Okay. Um. Now, thank you so much, Gong Lawrence. That's my project coordinator,
mm,
as at Voice of the Voiceless. Yeah. So
I
he's
love
an
that.
amazing guy, and I love that question.
Okay.
Now, one way I've seen God's hand help me to lead or to succeed both at home and my job site
Yep.
is through unexpected miracles.
Mm,
Now, God has a way of always showing up for me when I feel like the whole world is against me.
mm,
God's hand has been a backing, and I call it the anchor, the protector, and the always present help in everything I go through.
mm,
And I always say this, and because I know that I have God, that He is a present help in everything I need, I have been able to lead with conviction, with confidence, and with
mm,
love, because I know that I have somebody who is always available for me,
mm.
even when nobody's there.
I love that. Great. That's pretty cool. So let's dive deeper. When
Okay.
people feel limited and overlooked, Christine, what is the first mindset shift you help them make to realize the leverage, to realize the giftedness, to come back to themselves after going through limitations, challenges of life, pain? As a life coach, what strategies can you share with the thousand watching us now and who watching later on what they can do to bounce back when they feel limited in life?
Okay, so this is first of all identifying who you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the first thing, is to know who you are. And this is the point. We live in a world where people are not living their who.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is so that there are people who are basically living life according to other people's standards. You are not using yourself as example to live the life that God has designed for you, but you are
Mm-hmm.
using Oliver and Shom, or you're using another person. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have a problem with us having role models in life, but before a
Mm-hmm.
role model, there is you.
Yeah.
If
Mm.
you don't discover who you are, then there is no way, because you want to live according to a role model, and there is no way you're going to succeed. Now let
Mm.
me let me go back to a challenge I faced in my life. When I
Mm.
when I just had my advanced level,
Mm.
I went into high school.
Mm.
I started with A1. When I started doing A1, I looked at my friends. Some of them were doing A4, and they were talking of how good A4 was. I left A1 and I went over to A4.
Mm.
Now in A4, I saw some of my friends who talked about A2 and some of the things that they would do. I left A4 and came to A2, and I finally left A2 again. Like I
Mm.
did all the fourth series when I was in high school.
Mm.
And my vice principal had to call me into his office to talk to me, because the first term, the whole of first term, I was moving from one series to another. And sometimes in life, when you have so many choices available in front of you and you're not able to
Yeah.
make a choice,
Yeah.
that's when you fail. And the
Mm.
first choice that you
Mm.
can make as a human being to bounce back is to discover who you are.
Mm.
And in a journey where destination is unknown, speed is unnecessary. This
Mm.
means that after discovering who you are, you have to carve out your destination. Where am I even going to? You
Mm.
know, I told someone that if we leave Bamenda if we leave Yaoundé and we are going to Bamenda,
Mm.
and we live at the same time, you go through Mamfi, another person goes through Bafusam, the
Mm.
person who is going through Bafusam will reach
Mm.
before you, because you are
Mm.
going around. Why? Because you have not known the road you are using. So when you discover yourself, you
Mm.
discover the destination, and then you carve out the roadmap to where you are going to.
Mm.
Oliver, you believe with me that there are people who wake up every day and face life. Like there is a difference between facing life and a difference facing life and life facing you.
Okay.
I ask yourself a question: are you facing life, or life is facing you?
Okay.
Just like in a football pitch, whosoever is playing, like when you are in another side's ring, you are the one winning. But when they
Mm-hmm.
come to your ring, they are the ones winning.
Mm-hmm.
So are you on the ring of life, or life is entering your ring?
So what's the
Be-
difference, Christian? What's the difference between the two of them?
So when you are facing life, it means that you have crossed the midfield. Life is on the other side and you are on the other side. So
Mm.
it's like a football match where you have team A and team B, and
Mm.
then team A is on the other side of the field and team B is on this other side. Let's assume that I'm team B.
Mm.
Now, if Team A has crossed the middle field and then on my side, Team A is definitely winning me, because I'm
Mm.
suffocating. I'm playing defensive attack.
Mm.
Life is like in life, it's either you are playing defensive or you are playing affirmative. Because if you are playing a defensive, you're already losing life. But if
Mm.
you are playing affirmative, you are the one winning. So when
Mm.
you wake up every day, ask yourself on that day, am I facing life, or life is facing me?
Mm.
Because if life is facing you, it means that you are losing. But if you are facing life, you are winning life.
Mm.
Now, if I'm facing life, it means
Mm.
for you to face life, you need to have strategies. You need to have a plan for your day. You need to
Mm.
know, face that day, not just like any other person, but with somebody with a plan.
Mm.
You don't just wake up and you say, thank God for another day, and tomorrow you say, oh, today is gone, and then this another day again.
Mm.
Celebrating birthdays is not the magic. The magic is celebrating birthdays with achievement.
Mm.
when my sister told me that she wanted to celebrate birthdays, and I asked her what she has achieved over the years before I can be able to let you celebrate this birthday, to
mm,
celebrate with you. It's not just about celebrating birthday. People are
mm,
supposed to be celebrating achievement, and that
mm,
is how you can be able to bounce back in life if you discover all these things and come up with a plan for your life, and not just letting life face you each passing day.
mm. I love that. And then there's a statement you struck very hard, and you said when you have so many choices. Remember the statement you made?
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people in the back. They're not. They want to hear that again. We have some backbenchers, so maybe you want to bring back that punch, please. I would love you to bring it back.
Yeah. So what I said is this: when you have so many choices at times, that is the beginning of failure.
Mm,
You know why?
no.
Now, this is a very practical example in life, Oliver. If you ask me to take you to snap your pictures, and I snap 100 pictures and send to you, there is a tendency that
Mm,
you will choose a wrong picture out of those. You will not be. It'll be difficult for you to have a good picture out of those 100 pictures. But
mm,
now, if somebody who has just 5 pictures will be able to choose one best picture out of
mm,
those five pictures, you know why?
mm,
Because when you have so many choices in life, you become so confused.
mm,
It is not the problem of having so many choices, but it is the how to be able to, because now everybody wants to have so many choices to choose, but which mechanism are you using to filter those many choices? And for you to be able to use a good mechanism to filter those choices,
mhm,
it's very easy. Now, if you send me 100 pictures, now I'll easily choose from those 100 pictures. You know why? Because I
no.
already know what I'm looking for. Now, if I don't
Mm,
like pictures that I sit down, or maybe people want pictures that the ones that they sit down, or there are others that wants the one that they're standing up. I'll first of all
mm,
go and then do my filter, delete all the pictures where I'm sitting down, and now have
mm,
the ones that I'm standing up. Among those pictures that I'm standing on, maybe I want the one that have my hands folded. I will go ahead, delete all those pictures that I don't have hands folded. This is how life is.
mm,
In life, you don't want to become a technician. You want to become a musician. You want to become an accountant. You want to become an administrator. You want to
mm,
become a politician at the same time. Filter those choices. What do you really want to become in life first? When you
mhm,
filter those choices and come down, for example, I want to become an accountant, you are already winning. Now, do I want to become an accountant in church? Do I want to become an accountant in a
mm,
hospital? Do I want to become an accountant in a school? Do I want to become an accountant with the public sector? You already filter those choices, remove all of them, and now you
mm,
go down. If it is public sector, you go down to public sector. That is how life is. You should be able to filter your choices. When you have those many choices, be able to filter those choices. And you cannot make these choices, Oliver, without knowing, without those three things that I talk about. You, your journey, and your destination. These are the three
mm,
things in life. You,
mm.
who you are, the journey you want to take, and the destination you are going to. When you have all these things figured out, you can be able to filter your choices.
I love that. So, Christine, this is so mind blowing, bro. Now, I wanted to talk to a young girl listening to us right now in her prime. Maybe she's 19, 20, 18, maybe between 25 and 30, whatever. And she's confused. She's in the midst of suitors. They're like, hey, marry me, marry me, marry me. And also to that young boy who is confused with a numerous number of girls reaching out to him and all of that. And also talk to that particular brilliant youngster out there who just graduated from university, and so many companies have just said, yes, come and work with us. And he's
Okay.
confused on which choice is best for me, which choice is best for her. Please talk to these three categories of people listening to us right now on how to pick the right choice.
Let me start with the young girl. That's
Okay.
the advice I give my younger sister every day.
Okay.
You see, where you are today is not where you will always be tomorrow.
Mm,
You see, life is, as the world revolves around, life is revolving.
mm,
And it is clear that what you are, changes will always come. The
mm,
first thing you should do in your life is to realize that you are growing, you are not getting younger.
mm,
What decisions, what are the choices that you have for your life? If it is marriage, let it be your choice. If it is
mm,
education, let it be your choice. If it you just want to, if you want to, or to you are planning to
mm,
go to school or to get degrees or to get everything, it's your choice. First, your choice. Now, before going to listen to advice from everybody, or before getting a mentor in life or getting
mm,
a coach, first of all, make your choices
mm,
based on your on the deep conviction. I'm saying this because there are young women today who want to get iPhones. The first thing in your mind is an iPhone, and you
mm,
want to get this iPhone, or you want to live a flamboyant life because you want to prove to your age mates that you have made it in life. Yes, you will prove it today that you have made it in life. You will show to them, they will clap for you. But
mm,
tomorrow, life will prove to them that you have not done anything in life.
mm,
You today at your young age, you have the opportunity to prove to people, but tomorrow life will be in control, and then life will help you disprove you to people.
mm,
So when you are making choices today, know that the choices that you are making today will either fight against you tomorrow or fight for you tomorrow. So
mm,
when the choices that you are making today as a young woman,
mm,
are they going to fight for you tomorrow, or they'll fight against you?
mm,
Make those choices with conviction. And I say this, Oliver, because why I say that you should decide why you want, because there is nobody who loves you more than you love yourself. And the right decisions are in you. It's just that if we don't uh, give ourselves the opportunity to listen to ourselves more, then we will have problems making the right decision.
mm,
And to the young man watching us, or the young man listening to me, I want to tell you that today at your prime, you have the opportunity to make decisions to change the world. There are things I regret doing today as a young man, which if I was given the opportunity to go back
mm,
1 year or 5 years or 10 years, I would
mm,
not do them. There is nothing in life, and there is nothing in sleeping with nothing beneficial in sleeping with multiple women.
mm,
We used to think that sometimes if you are like, when you go to your peers, you go to drink in bars,
mhm,
and or you live a certain, you feel that if you are not living a certain life, you are not a man. No,
mm.
when you are not when you are still living that kind of a life, you are not a man.
Okay.
And when you see
Mm,
a young man who is going like using going by the time you start going out with multiple women, it
mm,
means that you have low self-esteem.
mm,
Avoid all those things, and as much as you can. I'm not asking you as a young man not to socialize. Learn to talk about football. Get
mm,
to talk about football if you can. Talk about the economy, talk about politics. You should be able to hold on a discussion on politics. You should
mm.
be able to hold on a discussion on the economy, hold
Yeah.
on a discussion on football.
Mm,
But those things should not be done at the detriment of your own life. It is
yeah.
not everything that you must talk under the bottle of beer or other things. And then if you must drink, now this is the striking one. I once made a post, and I said, if you must drink, don't drink cheap alcohol.
Mm,
Don't drink cheap alcohol. Somebody asked me, I don't have money, so why should I be going to drink cheap alcohol? And I asked the question, why should you be going to drink cheap alcohol in the first place? Because where I will meet Dangote will not be in a beer parlor where they're selling alcohol for a bottle of alcohol for 500 francs.
mm,
Where if you want to drink alcohol, than for me, Oliver, to buy a bottle of beer for 1,000 francs that will not do anything for me, I better buy a bottle of beer for 50,000 that will bring change in my life.
mm,
Because where they're selling that bottle of beer for 50,000, that's where I'm going to meet people who can cause impact in the community.
mm,
So if you must drink, if you want to discuss over a bottle of beer, go and sit where you'll be able to meet connection, to connect with people.
mm,
And now, finally, to that young person who has just dropped an application and you're waiting maybe for a call back. Well, before I had I'm working as a database administrator currently, and
mhm,
before I had this job, there was a time I met a target that I was dropping 10 applications every day,
mm,
at least 10 applications. I don't need to know whether I'm having even on the day I'm having an interview, or when I've just come back from an interview, I will continue dropping applications.
mm,
It might look glaring. They will tell you, oh, we are going to call you. They will say, oh, you are so smart, you are so intelligent. We have
mm,
found a candidate. You have not found any candidate until I start working in your company.
mm,
So don't believe on what employers tell you until you
mm,
learn that you are working. Now, keep on building your skills. Even no matter whatsoever you are doing, even if you just graduated from school, or even if you are applying, keep learning, keep growing. You can go to Udemy, get courses to learn
mm,
and grow yourself.
mm,
Get profile. If you are a young person looking for a job and you don't have a LinkedIn profile, then I don't even know what you are doing. So if you are dropping applications, those things are very important. Life is not just on Facebook. There are so many Cameroonians, or not just Cameroonians alone, who have only Facebook accounts, and that is all. We come to Facebook to socialize, but we go to other social networks to make things happen. So
mm.
keep fighting. Don't rely on the applications that you have dropped. If you have dropped 500 applications, it's nothing. You might feel, some people give up because they drop application and they feel like something is wrong with me. Why is it that employers are not calling me? I keep dropping. Yes, something might be wrong with you, but while trying to find out what is wrong with you, also keep on moving. Never give up, because even in that something that is wrong with you, there are some companies that are looking for that something that's wrong in you. What other companies don't want, there is a company somewhere that want that particular thing that is in you. So while trying to ameliorate the situation, don't give up. Keep moving. Keep pushing.
There we go. I love that. Keep moving and keep pushing,
Pushing.
and
Yeah.
because believe in yourself. So as we're talking, Ania Yannick just dropped a message from LinkedIn that he's watching. We have people watching from LinkedIn. And thank you so much, Yannick, for dropping that. Says thank you, Daddy Chris. And accept greetings from our friend and brother, Jab New Joyberg is watching. I guess he's from Dallas, Texas, or Maryland. And
Oh,
greetings,
okay.
yeah, greetings from Impact Linjo. Yeah, who you know, who okay, know who you are, you journey, know your destination. Okay, that's just one of the punchlines that you just gave out. And Linjo Impact is also watching us for through Facebook, I guess from Cameroon. And thank you so much. Keep dropping your nuggets and your comment as we dive deeper. How do you help people align with their actually with their health, and even as you lead people, how do you help them to align with how they lead themselves, how they lead their businesses, how they lead their families, and how they go about their own life as a coach, as a life coach?
Okay, so that's a good question. The first, I begin by helping people who understand their inner values,
Okay.
you know, their identity, and
Mm,
especially in Christ. I like them. I talk about Christ all
mm-hmm.
the times because
Yep.
Christ is it is who has helped me to be where I am today.
I love
Yeah,
that.
that's the first thing. You discover your identity and then who you are in Christ,
Mm,
and then your skills, your communication, your vision, your integrity,
yeah.
and leadership emerges from those authentic alignments.
Mm,
So first of all, that's you just knowing, like knowing who you are.
yeah.
Because if I like talking so much about knowing who you are, because if I don't get those, you are the inner you, I cannot
Mm,
be able to help you to align with your goals, right? So
mm,
I take so much time. Like when somebody even comes to me for a coaching session,
yeah.
the more time I spend, more time knowing you than
Mm,
even more time to help you.
I love that.
Yeah. So and this is the thing. What happened here? That there was a time I used to pass and go to work, and I used to see engineers working somewhere beside my office, just like they're working every day. I didn't actually know what they were doing,
Okay.
and those guys were doing a lot of work underground.
Mm,
They will come on site every day doing things, planning and all that. Oliver,
mm,
a good building, the planning session is all the planning phase of that is always more important.
yeah.
So that's why it's good. Before I help you to align with your goals or everything. I take so much time in that planning phase,
Mm,
knowing you, us connecting and all that. And when I know more about you, it'll be very easy for me to help you. So these guys, when the day I finally realized that they were bringing up a structure, the structure was getting up and it got up really fast, and that's
mm,
because they spend so much time. So and unfortunately in the contemporary world, we are looking for validation. We are not
mm,
we don't want to do the work. We want to start by making people know that this is what I'm doing here. And
mm,
when it comes to the, it's like we are more of politicians, right? You come and sing to people, you tell them this is what I want to do, and at the end of the day you do nothing. So but but in the real world,
mm.
you don't people just see the result, because
Yep.
you spend so many years doing the underground work, and at the end of the day people start seeing result. And that's why some people don't even believe that what you are doing is what you can do, because they're like, why they want you to conform to the standards of this world, where we do things by, first of all, letting people, by shouting it loud,
Mhm.
that this is what we want to do, and at the end of the day we don't get or doing it. So
Yeah.
people expect you to shout, they expect to
Mhm.
see it, but no, that's not the point. That does not give best result. Do
Mm.
it in the background, relate with those people, and then you can
Yeah.
be able to help them.
Brilliant. I love the way the conversation is unfolding. And so, what leadership lesson did you learn the hard way? And how did it actually turn out to shape your perspective?
Yeah, so I like, there are a lot of lessons that I've learned the hard way,
Mm-hmm.
which made me like character.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how I'm going to put this, but let me say, first of all, right,
Mm-hmm.
when I just started my work with Voice of the Voiceless,
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of leadership issues.
Mm-hmm.
And the leadership issues that I had with my people, because I had to deal with people who were more than me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I created the organization, but I had people who were more experienced than me in anything. There are people who were that were financially inclined and are more than everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is the phase of my life. It taught me the difference between a leader and a boss.
Mm.
I was able to learn humility,
Yeah.
to be humble as a leader, even in front of people I was supposed to be leading.
Mm.
Because now it's like I learned it the hard way. Why? Because this is something I was naturally supposed to know, but I say I learned it the hard way because it was because of the fact that they were financially more than me,
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that some of them were more educated than me at that time, or more than me in everything. And I
Mm.
started to, do things that I was not supposed to do, and then I was faced with some kind of stiffness before I learned that, okay, this is the time I was supposed to just humble. And if I didn't humble, the voice of the voice that we're talking about will be history by today. So it's because of that I was able to,
Mm.
fight through those challenges and get to learn leadership in the hardest way.
Mm. I love your vulnerability, Chris, and this is so amazing. And I think this is a lesson for all of us to learn, and especially to our young people following and listening from different parts of the world to learn. There is strength in vulnerability. So when you don't know, it's good to ask, it's good to learn, it's just good to acknowledge the reality, the fact, and succumb yourself to learning. And thank you for showing vulnerability. And thanks to that, this is where the voice of the voiceless is today, touching lives and impacting generations.
Changing the world. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what message can you give to people watching us right now? On because a lot of people, especially men, they don't want to show that they are weak, they are vulnerable. They always like to show power, strength, all of that. But at the end of the day, it does not really hurt. So, what message do you have to give to our listeners on the importance of acknowledging your weaknesses and working on your strength, on the importance of being vulnerable when it is necessary?
Okay. So I look at this way. When you see two people, the one that admits weaknesses is the most strongest one,
Mm,
and the one that always claims to be powerful is the weakest person.
mm,
And I take this into relationships. I usually say that in a relationship, the fool is the most intelligent person, and the most intelligent person is a fool. I used to
mm,
say that in a relationship, somebody said that there can never be history without conflict, and there can never be a relationship without a fool and an intelligent person,
mm,
where one person plays the part of a fool and another person play. These are roles, relationship roles. One person assumes the part of a fool, and another person assumes the part of a wise person.
mm,
Now, almost everybody wants to be the wise one. Everybody wants to be the strongest one, and at the
mm.
end of the day, the one who accepts not to be the strongest one is instead the most intelligent one.
Mm,
When you are able to talk about your weaknesses and get them figured out, then you become the strongest, because your weaknesses, you have discovered your weaknesses and you have worked on them. But the
mm,
person who portrays only the strongest side of them also
yeah.
has a weakness, but nobody knows about that weakness, and at the end of the day, you cannot be able to fight that weakness.
Mm,
Now, I also know that there are certain aspects in life certain aspects of vulnerability
Mm.
where you don't just talk about it to anyone, because there are some people
Yeah.
who use them to who will use them to your disadvantage. So you know who to talk to about your weakness too. You know who to talk to about your challenges, because if you talk about your challenges to almost everyone, it's not like whenever someone greets you, a random person greets you, say hi Oliver, everybody is like you say, Master, it's just my wife. The person she has been bringing to me a lot of trouble. The next person to say, drive that woman, send her away. I sent mine away last week.
That's funny, by the way. That's
Yes,
funny.
that's
So
it.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So what do you say on this aspect is very important.
Mhm.
Uh, there are a lot of people that they have gone through pain and they're still going through pain and they don't know who to share their pain with. What will you say on that? On how to know the right person to share your struggles with? Because again, knowing the right person is important, because if you dare share with the wrong person, it can fire up. So, what is your take on that, please?
Yeah, you dare not share your pain with the wrong person. You better not share your pain than to share with the wrong person.
Mm,
Because when you share your pain with the wrong person, it become, I don't know, the pain gets, even if there was no wound, there will be, the person will make sure they put a wound.
mm,
And now getting the right person, like you have said, is
yeah.
the highest challenge. How do you get the right person to share your
Mm,
pain with?
mm,
The first thing is that society gives us the people they want, and we go to choose the one we want. God has created the universe. God has just made the universe in a way that there are things that have been aligned for us to get,
mm,
but we want to go and get the ones we want for ourselves and not the one the universe is giving us. Because there are times the universe is introducing people to your life and then you are looking for yours.
that's
Deep,
interesting.
first of all,
Mhm,
deep in you, there are people you trust. Like you have this conviction, there are people that when you see them, you can trust them and you know that you can talk to them.
mm,
But that does not mean you know that there was a picture someone showed of a lady diving into a swimming pool and said that's how women fall in love. You don't just throw yourself. When you get someone, you don't just throw yourself to the person, because in even in the contemporary world, we don't trust everybody. Now,
mm,
but the first person, very first person, where you don't have anybody to talk to, the very first person is your pastor.
mm.
That's the very first
Okay.
person. It's your pastor or your counselor,
Yeah, I love
because you cannot be able to, if you are not trusting your pastor in the first place, then you don't even need to be going to the church.
that. Mm,
I didn't want to talk about God because before everything, God is that first person that you go to. But I'm not talking about God in the first place, because I know that that's the very first person that you talk to.
mm,
Now, your pastor is the first person, the next person that you should be talking to. And
mm,
now the other person that you should talk to is your spouse if you are married.
mm,
Those are people that you should share with. The first place where you have pain, these are the
mm,
first places that you should be able to share your pain with. Because if you don't just, if there are people outside there who claim to love you,
mm.
Oliver, I have seen Shege. Yeah. You see, no, yeah, there are people out there who claim to love you even more than your father, even more than your
Mm,
mom.
mm,
But you know what? They
mm,
love you for what you are, not for who you are, and not what you
mm,
are.
mm,
Because tomorrow when you run into problem,
mm.
that's when you will know who they are.
Yeah.
I pray, I don't want you to have a problem, but I
Mm,
pray that one day God should be able to reveal these people to you, because I have come face to face with such people.
mm,
There was a time I had a problem that
mm,
was like on social media. You were there
mm. Oh
when
yeah.
when I had people,
Mhm,
posting about me and going through with their own stuff that was making them happy.
mhm,
That was the real time that I saw that I saw people who used to be my very best friends, and
mm,
people those are the people that will help the world to bring you down. Some
mm,
of the people that they claim to love you, they're just there to get enough information. And the day there is a problem in your life, they are the
mm,
ones that will they are you will see them talking about things about you that you yourself you don't know. Like you will go back to ChatGPT and ask yourself that who am I? Can you tell me who am I really? So that is it. So don't
mm.
trust anybody for now.
So Chris, what are the red signs that we need to observe to know those people that they are not really there for us, but they
Good,
are pretending.
good. People who talk about others.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's the first thing. People who talk about others, because if they're talking about others to you, then they'll talk about you to others.
Mm.
If I'm your friend, when you come and you're talking to me about somebody, I'm
Mm.
listening keenly, and you might feel that I'm listening to what you're saying. I know that
Mm.
this is how you talk about me to that. But do you think that you are so special? We are not so special in this world, Oliver. We are not.
Mm.
Nobody is so special. Sometimes when you feel that they're treated like you are not so, you are only special at that moment because they're using you for a purpose.
Mm.
So if you have somebody who comes to you to talk about another person, just know that tomorrow they will talk to that other person about you. That's it.
Mm. I love that. And so, how should we treat the people that they have broken the integrity we once had for them by talking about us and sabotaging our image and reputations and all of things we've done, and it hurts us, but we like, okay, it's over. How do
Okay.
we treat them? Do we should open our hearts, our doors, our resources to them, or there's a particular way we can treat them? So what do you recommend for the people watching?
Re- Remove them from your life and keep them in your heart.
Oh.
Yeah. So there are two things. People, when you forgive people, you remove them from your life, but still
Mm.
keep them in your heart.
Okay.
You know why?
No.
Because keeping somebody in your heart is a good way to be able to pray for them, to
Mm.
help them to grow. The world is full of vulnerabilities. There are people who are going through
Mm.
stuff that they don't even know. Now there are people who are healing, who are trying to heal. They are struggling with pain to heal. And
Mm.
we can only let these people heal if we pray for them, if we help them to grow.
Mm.
And now it is dangerous to help them to grow in your life when they're in your life.
Mm.
Because in your life, when somebody is in your life, the person has that power to pull
Mm.
you down or to lift you up.
Mm.
But what if they are in your heart? They cannot do anything to you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So take people out of your life, but
Mm.
keep them in your heart.
Mm. Brilliant. So what's the difference between positional leaders and purpose-driven leaders? What's your view about that?
Positional leadership depends on title, right?
Mm-hmm.
On title
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah, sure.
authority.
Mm-hmm.
While purpose driven leadership depends on conviction, value, and service.
Mm.
Now, the latter lasts and impacts even without a title.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
so what do I actually mean here? I am so when they say when you are a positional, for example, you can say I am a Lord Mayor,
Mm.
I am executive director, I'm a president. Those are positional leadership.
Yeah.
But purpose-driven leadership, for example, you are a life coach. So
Mm.
you are a speaker, a
Mm-hmm.
trainer and coach.
Yeah.
And these are things that have been born out of conviction.
Mm.
You did not go somewhere to for this title to be conferred upon you. These
Mm.
titles you grew with them, and
Mm.
life gave them to you.
Mm.
So you are doing what you are doing today based on conviction. You are doing
Mm.
what you are doing today that has been born in out of you, and that's
Mm.
what they call that's what they call purpose-driven leadership. Because you
Mm.
grew up with a purpose to become what you are becoming. You did
Mm.
not go to be voted somewhere. You did not go to fight for a position somewhere. That position, you went for it, you grabbed it. That's why you seized that position. That is purpose.
Mm. I love that. Even though I went for further training, certifications, all of that.
Yeah, so that's no, you have the certifications, and then you have that title out of purpose.
Mm.
Because before you went for position. Now the difference between someone who is like maybe an MP, right?
Yeah.
The person, these are positions for that. Okay, for example, I'm the executive director of Voice of the Voiceless, and
That's
this is a purpose that
mm.
was born. Because when you look at my story of how I created
Yeah.
Voice of the Voiceless, that was purpose given. Now
Yeah.
when I listen to your story on how you became a trainer, a coach, and all those things, these
Mm-hmm.
were born, and then you went to those certification now to develop yourself.
Mm.
You get those certification, you are going out to develop yourself and not to become a coach, because you were already a
Mm.
born coach, you were a born public speaker, but you went to develop yourself and get those certifications now just to affirm them, and not that you just got up and you said, okay, I'm looking for a job.
Mm,
And the job that I want to do is to become a coach. That was not a job; it was a purpose-driven something.
I love that. So, Chris, your book Beyond Limit is touching lives, not only in the United States, not only in Cameroon, but all around the world. What is the one lesson that you love everybody who reads this book to go home with?
Uh, Beyond limits, I can say that God has designed you be beyond your labels, or yep, your labels and your limits, right?
Mm,
Your capacity for influence is not defined by your past.
mm,
It's released through faith, through your identity,
mm,
and daily obedience.
mm.
I poured my life into Beyond Limit because some people, when some people say that I am an example of a motivation,
Yeah.
because what I preach is what
Mm,
I went through. When
mm,
I put my picture together some few days ago and posted on social media, people were like, I put 7 years difference and how
mm,
it's turned out to them. People are like, this is a true example of motivation. That's what Beyond Limit is. Beyond Limit is your past does not define your tomorrow.
mm,
When you look at people and you see where they come from, sometimes it does not resemble where they are today.
mm,
Because most of the people, when some people really write me there are people, Oliver, who have been my mates. There are people who we grew together in the same village. They write me out that, please, so don't be angry. Are you the Christian that I know? You know why? Because
no.
these people could swear, they could bet $1 million that I can
Mm,
never be somebody tomorrow.
wow.
That's
Mm,
why, because now they are looking at my family lineage, they are looking at my past background and everything joined together. I cannot become anything. The highest I can. And
mm,
when I had advanced level, I wrote a concours
mm,
into the advanced school of social security in Yaoundé. I passed,
mm,
and when my father died, one of my father's relatives who was supposed to be taking care of me at that time came and told me that this is not for me, that there's no way I can succeed in this kind of a thing. And they're looking at my family and everything. I should just better go and do grade one. That's the thing that could be. And they say like that, I never paid my school fee because they have already classified me. That was too successful for me. There are sometimes when you look at people, when
mm,
you see some people and you look at their past, there are some successes that are too big for them. Like I could never get
mm.
that kind of success, right?
I
They're
get.
looking like no, no, no. Like it was a dream that can never come true.
Mm,
So the beyond limits, when you hear of beyond limits, you see that there
mm,
is limits and there is beyond. It means
mm,
that those limits that people have set for you, you can sky beyond those limits. And you
mm.
can even go, because we have a God who says yes and nobody says no. And
Yeah.
when God says that you will become whatever, that's why you become. And people you don't need somebody's permission to become what you
Mm.
want to become.
There we
You
go.
just need permission from God. And since God has permitted, then you can become.
I love that. I love that. Just before I share the next conversation with you, I just want to read some comments here. Oh my God, my wife just wrote us a text. God bless you, Oliver and Frank, Christian. I love that. Thank you so much, wife. And then Impact Linjo is saying that wisdom demands. I love that. Pray for those whom you last trusted. Okay,
Hmm.
in depth. Okay, thank you so much, Laura, dear wife. I am boundless. Please, where can I get the book? Okay, Beyond Limit. Okay, Lenjo is asking where can I get the book Beyond Limit. I think where can okay. Anyhow, we'll handle that at the end of the show. All right.
Okay, all right. We'll
Yeah,
talk about
yeah,
that, yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, I just love that. This is so powerful. Now, Christine,
Yeah.
somebody watching us right now who is stuck. Uh, Maybe life is playing the person like you talked about previously. It's either you are ruling life or life is ruling you.
Yeah.
Life is ruling the person, and the person is at the crossroad in his life or in her life, and he doesn't know the next phase of his destiny, and he's contemplating suicide. What message of hope do you have to give to that person right now, as somebody who was once there, you know, to give the person the hope to jump and dive to the next phase of his life or her life?
Yeah, they say, do you know there was a song they say, at that junction of confusioning, don't
Mm,
give up. Do you know a man in the Bible called Brother Job? See, I say at the junction of confusioning, don't give up.
mm,
Don't. Now, if you quit, you will never win because they say quitters never win and winners never quit. Because people are winning today does not mean that they have not had challenges.
mm,
Oliver, if they tell you the challenges that Bill Gates faced,
mm.
you will just go back to the village and start back as a baby and be growing up.
Mm,
You see Elon Musk? Elon is
mm.
facing challenges every day,
Yeah,
but he never gives up.
yeah.
So some of us, the little challenge we feel, we cry like babies, and the
Mm.
whole world will hear us. There are people that sometimes when you come to my inbox and you write your life story like that, and then you tell me that you are giving up, I just say, Mama, give up now. You have tried. You already tried. You can even just go and give up since you have already talked about giving up. So why are you? What are you talking about? So what have you really faced?
Mm,
Now you have to start small. That's what
mm,
I will tell you if you are faced somewhere. Start small. Take one action at a time.
mm.
Ask honest questions.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you're asking these questions to yourself. Where am I stuck?
Mm,
And why am I stuck here?
mm.
These are questions. You are asking yourself this question and then take one step towards clarity or movement, even if it's small.
Wow.
I have been stuck and I took steps. I took steps, they were small, but those steps taken one at a time amount to a big step.
Mm.
If you want to climb the stairs and you feel like you are late and you want to rush and double three stairs at a time because you want to climb, you will finally end up not even climbing.
You
Yeah,
fall down.
take step by step and you will reach there.
Mm.
That's it. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So this is so sweet, man. So great. So taking steps is very important. And so if you're listening to us and you're at the point where you're at the crossroads in your life, take steps. Take step. Remember that you can don't have to give up. You don't have to give up. Think about your challenge journal. Think about the things you did in the past that brought you where you are, and do the same things, and you definitely make more progress moving forward. I
Exactly, and
love
and I
that.
just and I just want to add this, Oliver. Now,
Yeah,
that's I like that you talk about do the same things. This is very important.
yeah.
There are times that people give up at the eve of their breakthrough because you are doing
Mm,
something which is good, but just because the thing did not materialize on time, you give up and then start
yeah.
another. So
Mm,
keep doing it. What you're doing, keep doing over. I like that. Thank you.
yeah. Great. So, Chris, let's look at this. After intentions, we have disruption. For
Hmm.
instance, you plan that you have to be studying 5 subjects every day, and that very day you slept and you forgot yourself in the bed.
Yeah.
And that is what happened to some students. They have good plans, people have beautiful dreams, but there are a lot of challenges that immediately after you finish writing the dream on your board, on your diary, disruption begins. Now, what is your advice on how people can fight disruption? What do you do when you really want to do this thing, but again, the difficulties that are in front of you, you're seeing in front of you, they really just scares you and like, is this dream really for me? Maybe because somebody who has a project, this is 2025, this is only July, this is mid-year above, and the project has not even started. And this is what the person said he want to do in 2025. It's like
Okay.
it's like disruption is only happening all the time. So do you have any tips from your experience as a life coach and as a leadership speaker that you can give our listeners, please?
I will ask back this question to the followers.
Mm-hmm,
If you want a tailor to make a dress for you. For example, you're in the US and you want a tailor in Cameroon to sew you a dress,
mm-hmm,
and the tailor does not have your correct measurement. What do? You will ask the
mm,
tailor to sew that dress and put an allowance so that you can be able to adjust as needed.
mm,
That
mm,
is the same way with the life plan. If you want, we make plans on our plans for our life, and we are like it's a must. You don't have a roadmap for tomorrow. Only
mm.
God has a roadmap for
I
tomorrow.
love that.
And when
Mm,
you want to make plan, also put allowances for adjustment.
Mm,
If I put that I'm going to be reading 4 books every night, what happens if I'm not able to read those 4 books a night?
mm,
What was the allowance? How can you be able to adjust to that program? Human being is not a machine. You are not AI.
mm,
You will make mistakes. You will have things that will come up and you'll not be able to meet up with your plans. You cannot be that perfect to do everything as you have planned. So when you are putting plans for your life, put an allowance so that you can be able to adjust as needed. There are days that you have planned to read 4 books. Yeah, there will be some days that you'll be able to read 5. There are some
mm,
days that you read only 3. And this is what happened. So for example, if you plan on doing something in life and there are days that you feel that you can do more, because there will be days that you will not be able to do up to what you could do.
mm,
Yes, if I have planned that I'm going to read 5 books today, and today I feel better to read 8, I'll read 8, because tomorrow I might not be able to read even 1.
mm,
That's how life is. There are some days that you have. That's why they say expansion and contraction. You are
mm,
expanding and contraction as life permits.
mm. I love that. And that reminds me that as a young person, if you listen to us right now, you're maybe below 50, whatever, below 40, whatever. If you have the energy right now, work harder. Maybe because maybe when you're 70, 80, you might not have the energy. So it goes in the same way, right? You have to maximize your time when you are able to do what you can do, because tomorrow you might not have that strength and that energy. And so let's talk a little bit voice of the voiceless. What are the platforms voice of the voiceless is creating for people, young people, where it's operating like where the headquarter is, and in Africa, in Cameroon, for young people that they can leverage their talents, leverage their potentials, and leverage their giftedness on. What are the platforms the organization, your organization, is creating for young people to leverage all of these blessings God has blessed them with?
Yeah, Voice of the Voiceless is operating mainly based on 3 different areas.
Okay,
We have the WEP, which is the Women's Empowerment Program.
okay,
We have the YEP, which is the Youth Empowerment Program,
hmm,
and we have the Emergency Response.
okay,
And the emergency response program, it comes to when the things that come up and we need to do that.
oh,
So under both the YEP and the WEP, we run
yeah,
programs like skills training, scholarships,
mm,
advocacy networks in multiple countries to elevate orphans, refugees, and undeserved communities. And then it also gives tools, resources, and platforms so people can speak for themselves. And
mm,
that's why you see us trying to come up with, sometimes we have seminars that we organize. We come up with live shows. We really relented doing that for a long time, but we are going to starting our programs where we come with them on our page, and then we get to get people to talk. And that's basically that's a snippet of what we do on Voice of the Voiceless.
I love that. So what's your 5 years plan, from today, on based on the voice of the voiceless, strategic action plan for 5 years, please?
Yeah, we plan to expand partnerships with organizations both at home and abroad,
Mm,
reach more communities globally, and also incubate new leaders who can multiply the movement, equipping thousands to become agents of change in their
mm,
context or the communities. We are creating ambassadors everywhere in all the villages, in the subdivisions, divisions, and regions in Cameroon and abroad. And in the countries, we're having like the coordinator in Europe, Canada, United States of America, and the United Arab Emirates.
mm. I love that. Great job.
Thank
So,
you.
Chris, what do you think are the kind of leaders that the world needs right now, and what can we do to become those leaders?
Yeah, we are at the crossroads, especially now in Cameroon,
Mhm,
where we are facing election challenges, and I sincerely hope that all the youths in Cameroon are able to get to the polls in October and get the best leader for Cameroon,
mm,
or whosoever they deem that can lead the country well, because that's all the world needs. So the world is in need of value-driven leaders, right?
mm,
The world needs compassionate leaders. They need servant leaders. Not a servant leader are leaders who are grounded in truth and love, because being a servant leader is just the same. Like, a servant leader is somebody, like, I can talk about purpose driven leaders.
Mm,
Oh yeah, those are servant leaders. Those are the leaders that the world need. So, and we can become these leaders by developing our character, staying connected to God and leading from our unique purpose. those
mm.
are those are the kind of leaders. It's not just about the world needing leaders, but it's about us becoming those leaders that the world need. So, and that's why I started talking from Cameroon, because all of us like to know about election, to talk about election. But what we can say is that you should be so careful out there, no matter whatever you do. Peace is everything, and that's all.
I love that. So I wanted to complete this statement. Leadership without love is
Leadership without love is an empty shell. It's
okay.
fruitless, disconnected, and void of meaning.
I love that. So I want to talk to the. I want you to say something to the younger Daddy Chris. What will you say to your 25 years old, sir,
Or even to my 18 years old.
or to your old 18
I'll
years?
say I'll say Daddy Chris. No, I'll say Chris, because this Daddy Chris now came because of age, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because I'm now a very older person, a title man, of course. So,
Right.
so leader, I'll tell myself, um, be patient,
Mm,
right? Trust the journey. Um, be patient, trust the journey. I mean, your story is more impactful than you realize.
mm,
Start with whosoever is in front of you and stay faithful.
mm.
That's what I'll tell myself.
I love that. And that reminds me of a concept I brought up with my friend Eugene, the spiral of influence. It's about a seeker in
Mhm.
whatever you're doing. Start with the resources you have inside, beside, closer, before you go out. Don't go looking for resources far away. Why? The people you need, they're just beside you. Thank you. That's
Exactly.
powerful. Quick facts. What is your favorite book in the Bible?
Well, I love the book of um like I said, I love so many books in the Bible, but my favorite book is the book of Revelation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Best book you ever read, ever. Best book apart from the Bible, maybe.
Well, the best book I've ever read, I mean, Tales from the Arabian Nights. That was a
Oh,
book I read a long time ago. Yeah. But
I
that's
can
that,
still
that
remember
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I love that. Best advice your parents ever gave you.
Well, the best advice my parents gave me is be you.
Hmm.
Listen to yourself. Don't listen to the world. Keep on with what you can do, and what I'm not able to do, I should leave it.
Hmm. That's deep.
Yeah.
This no, you can't solve all problems. So there's
Yes,
some
I
values
should
you don't
do
find.
only what I'm able to do.
Hmm. Wow. The day in your life you will never forget.
The day in my life I'll never forget was a day where I was in Bamenda, right?
Hmm.
And I had rented a certain house. I rented a certain house where I was living,
Hmm.
and on that night rain fell, and I realized that, because that was like an abandoned house, I realized that rain was falling, and there was no way I could do so. Even my bed, I had to stand up at night, take my mattress, and then send to a different place to sleep. And then the rain even made me. So at the end of the day, I took my mattress and then placed on the wall, and then was leaning on my mattress, and then rain made me. The whole of that night, I lived in my own house, and I was wet throughout that whole night. So that was so that's whenever that times that's the day that keeps always keeps, because I went through a terrible night.
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. And so, your wife's best friend, please.
Come again.
Who is your wife's best friend?
Clotio.
Oh, I love that. Beautiful. So I want right now, Chris, look to the camera, right now to the camera. Talk to the young one right now listening from Lagos, Nigeria, Nairobi, Kenya, Douala, Cameroon, Chicago, United States, Minnesota, United States, who wants a new life. And he feels like the family has abandoned him or her. And he feels like the world is running against that particular person. And he just needs a voice of hope. He just needs someone who can give that assurance that he believes that. Just some shoulders to hang on. Just a little push. Just a word. If you were asked to give that word to that young person, just in a minute, what would be those words that you have to encourage the young person watching right now?
Yesterday is gone. Today is another day. Today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Never antagonize over your past or worry over your future. Live today and live it well. And remember that if you die today, the world will still move on without you. So just do what you can do and let the world do what they can do. You can't kill yourself, because even if you fight today and kill yourself, the very people you are killing yourself for will still continue living their life as if you never existed. You have your family, and you have yourself. Take care of yourself first, because if you take care of yourself, then the world will take care of itself.
I love that. And that reminds us, when you enter the aircraft, they tell you to press in case of emergencies.
Yes. Yeah, you have to first of all make sure that you protect yourself first.
Yeah.
Even what, yeah, because if you want to protect another person first, you will die, and that person too will die. So at least protect yourself. If somebody has to die, let the person die, but yourself first, because you can help yourself before you help another person.
What a message. Thank you so much, Daddy Chris, and extends our regards, special regards to your precious wife, Petra. She worked so hard, and
Yeah.
for us to have this interview, and to your beautiful daughters and so on, we just love them. Extends our regard. And again, thank you for being an elder brother particular to me. I am the result of your leadership. I'm one of your products, and I want to take this opportunity to say I'm so grateful. I'm so honored to have you as an elder brother, as a coach, as a mentor who can guide me and lead me. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you so much, big bro. I sincerely appreciate it.
And it went straight to the bottom of my own heart too. So
I love
thank you
that.
for being an amazing person. And we have this guy, Ayaya, Nick said that, Chris, I would like to work with you in this. Passion is saving humanity. I have some proposals to make as regards in saving humanity and mankind. That, Chris, I would like to work. Okay, I think it's the same comment as okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So for those who are watching live right now, we have never give up, put allowance in everything you do. That's for my dear wife Laura Nimbo. We have Lenjo says challenges are inevitable, one step at a time. Beautiful. John Noel, greetings to you, sirs. Impact says again that the power of vision. I love that. So Yannick says that Chris, okay, you've read that already, and great job. Okay, keyword. I can't kill myself. Discussion. Thank you, sirs. That was a good one. And for you watching, Daddy Chris, once again, thank you for igniting the mic with your purpose. The world hurt, and it will never forget. And to you watching right now, this was the 31st episode of the Global Speakers Advantage podcast. And your stage is right there, and you are never far away from your stage, provided your story is real. I see you, and I believe in you. And until we meet again, we're looking forward to see you at the top. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Hello all, my name is Konyi Gotran from Douala, Cameroon. I am this week's spotlight listeners to the Global Speakers Advantage podcast. I do tune in every week, Tuesday and Friday, because this platform do not just ignite and inspires, but it reminds me of the fact that my story, my voice, and my purpose matters a lot, locally and globally. Indeed, since I started listening to the Global Speakers Advantage podcast, it has energized me and empowered me to embark and rise up with new energy for my MSc's thesis. Listening to this wonderful podcast weekly endows me and bring me to the front row seat of greatness every single week. To everyone out there listening to the Global Speakers Advantage podcast, I encourage you to dream boldly, to speak fearlessly, and to keep on listening to this wonderful platform, because it is not just a show, but it is a movement. A big
You have lived through powerful moments. You have overcome and you have grown. Now it's time to tell your story and get booked for it. At Talks, we are launching a powerful platform called Tell Us Your Story. And it's moment for you to shine. We will work with you one-on-one and coach you to be able to share your story with the world. And we will take your story, edit it, and list it in our platform, Talks. Let the world hear what you've been through and why it matters now more than ever. Spots are limited. If you're ready to turn your story into your stage, now is the time.